I've been wanting to react to this for a little while because I love boss fights. I think they're the best part of COD Zombies. So we're going to react to this and then we're going to pop back over to Horizon for a little bit longer and then we will call it a night. So without further ado,
today I'll be ranking every single Treyarch Zombies boss fight from easiest to hardest. To clarify the rules here, I will be counting all end of Easter egg fights as a boss fight, even if there isn't a technical boss. So maps like Tagged or Toten and D Machine will be included.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, those are technically still boss situations, you know, they're survival situations, so I think that's fair.
Fights like Ancient Evil or Garad Crovy, the two different fights will just be lumped together and ranked as one.
There we go. Clear rules.
Zombies boss fight of all time has to be Zetsubo no Shima.
Really?
If you don't know, you don't actually have to kill anything when you're in the Zetsubo no Shima boss fight. You can just run around in circles and wait for the boss to open up its crit spot. You don't have
I'm gonna have to call shenanigans on this because D Machina is technically the easiest boss fight of all time because you can't lose. You just have to kill the zombies around the guy. That's it. That's it.
You have to kill any Thrashers.
I mean, technically,
zombies,
yeah.
Any spikes,
there is no boss
literally
fight.
Nothing. Just run around in circles and shoot the crit spot. It's funny because it's probably actually easier to beat the Zetsubo no Shima boss fight than it is to just complete a regular round of Call of Duty Zombies.
I honestly get killed by the Thrashers in here, not the Slammy boy, which is what happens in the D Machina.
The elevator without their gas mask. Then there have been deaths in the actual fight. It's a cool fight aesthetic.
Yeah, like Orlov's health, it straight up just is stagnant and it will never go down. The only thing that will happen is that you won't be able to turn off the particle accelerator, which I think that's what it's called, which, you know, you're just running around training zombies. You can get ammo whenever you want. There's full of ammo crates. You get armor whenever you want. It's a very, very safe boss fight, which I think they did intentionally to make it easier for casuals. Oh crap. I didn't even think about the Firebase Z boss fight. I would argue that this is, no, this is definitely harder than Zetsubo.
I feel like Firebase Z was really trying to give Zetsubo no Shima a run for its money on what fight of all time. Once you teleport back to the spawn area, you pretty much have to kill the Orda boss. The only problem is you can do this in probably like 3, maybe 4 clips of the rake.
If you actually use a freaking ballistic knife or the crossbow, I can't talk. The crossbow, I think you can actually kill it faster than this. Maybe even with the explosives.
Okay, and that's pretty much
yeah, you're right, Phil. You can actually get overwhelmed pretty easily, like if you're training properly. That's why I actually handicap myself for this boss fight because I just want to straight up make it a challenge because I like this Easter egg a lot compared to some of the other ones on Cold War. I think it's probably my second favorite one. But yeah, you can get stuck in here, but I purposefully handicap myself to make it more challenging. And I think I've only died 1 time. I think that was the first time I got into the boss fight because I didn't really know what I was doing.
About every tool that you could imagine here. If you need any perk in the game, you can have it. If you need any equipment, it's there. If you forgot to pack up on your gun, go ahead and do it because it's literally right there. If you need ammo, of course, that's there.
It's true. Of course, you have
armor,
everything you need right there. Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you're doing the Outbreak Easter egg, it gets a little bit overwhelming, especially during the silo part. That's the hardest part, but they nerfed everything in that boss fight. We'll get to that in a little bit, Alex. Okay, so hold your horses. You're getting ahead. You're getting ahead.
Boss fight. Get all the stuff you need right then.
Horses be held.
Good to go. Anyways, the actual fight, again, it's just really easy. All you got to do is kind of keep in mind of the zombies in front of you, and if you pop a ring of fire, you're good to go.
You are good to go.
List is D Machine. Now, yes, there isn't a technical boss. Here. There's no boss that needs to be killed. The end of the D Machine Easter egg is a defend Orlov mission. Basically, he goes around to different generators and repairs them.
I think this is fair.
But that's what I'm gonna say. And you would think that if Orlov took us off of him and he's just gonna go back to repairing the generator. If you have any one of the die variants, it just makes it even. You can just take your good old time. You can let Orlov get absolutely shit on. It literally because you could literally come back to him.
So he does highlight that.
Get the zombies off.
He does highlight that.
Just gonna go there.
All right, I think this is a fair spot. Wait. What? Really? You're putting the Revelations one this far back? I mean, I guess technically we have 8 boss fights from Black Ops 4 that are harder than this. But I honestly think that if you don't know what you're doing, the Revelations boss fight is actually kind of tricky. Now bear with me. If you don't know what you're doing, you have to fill up the summoning key. Then you have to chuck it at Sophia's ghost. She penetrates the Shadow Man's shield. And then you have to make sure that you throw a little Arnie. If you don't have the upgraded little Arnies, the Margwa will destroy your little Arnie in a second and a half. Then the Panzer and 2 Margwas, and every single enemy is going to be on your ass so freaking fast it'll make your head spin. While the mechanics of this boss fight are inherently easy, yeah, penetrate, exactly. That's exactly right, NH. Finally, somebody gets me. If you don't know how to do this sequence like one after the other quickly, you will die. And not to mention, max ammos don't pop up super frequently, so you can lose all your shit very fast.
Second one here, because for all of these, I'm only talking about the end of Easter egg fight.
What is going on with the FOV here, bro? I thought you were a PC player, dog.
He's in line where you can press F on the Chronium. Very plain and simple. It's just like
you play with F, dude?
Again, I'm not ranking the Shadows of Evil here.
My man plays with F. He plays with F. I use E. I use E, my dude.
Just because you can beat it in like literally, I'm not even kidding, like 5 seconds. But if I was, it'd probably be like right here as well, because it's literally the same thing. Just shoot the Shadow Man.
It's not the same thing. This is way harder.
Go to watch the cutscene. Next up, we have the map 9. Now 9, in my ranking every Easter egg by difficulty video, I had 9 towards the top of my list on the hardest. Absolutely no part to the boss fight.
9 is not that hard.
That come out at you.
It's not hard across the board. It's just fun. It's like the Eisendrache fun.
That is area that we've ever had in zombies. Basically, just run around, keep the gladiators, keep the brawlers at bay, and you're good to go.
I've never seen those guys like in the elephant with death perception. That's very funny.
That's pretty much not even an issue. The only thing you
wow,
need to watch out for
he's
is
cheesing it.
You have damage to you while
wow.
you fight. If you go into this with a Helion salvo, it's literally even easier. I've done the 9 Easter egg probably like 10 times, and I don't think I've ever seen anybody take it down.
Wow.
Next up is Blood of the Dead. Maybe I could have had Blood of the Dead a little bit to the east.
The Blood of the Dead boss fight was the biggest disappointment in my opinion. The biggest disappointment ever. What a pain in the ass Easter egg for no payoff. For no payoff whatsoever.
Like all of these are like pretty hard to actually mess up.
It's
like,
so easy.
Have to go out of your way to take it down during these boss fights. But
okay, let's break this down for a second. Isn't this kind of strange? Think about it from this perspective. BO4 is known for being the hardest Black Ops game, right? It's known for being one of the hardest zombies experiences of all time, quote unquote. But all of its boss fights literally like catered to casuals. You could not fuck them up if you tried. But yet their Easter eggs were impossible, tedious. The step where you have to like do the soul sucking like while that zombie's going across the whole map. Very obscure and weird Easter eggs, taking it to the next level from Black Ops 3, but retracting the difficulty of the boss fight. It was like the opposite approach. Like I feel like BO3's Easter egg were a lot more balanced in terms of like that arc, because that's why I loved Black Ops 3 so much. You start in with nothing and you slowly work your way up, but it was like a perfect diagonal line, like a perfect climax, and then you would beat the boss and then you could just do whatever the fuck you want.
Blood of the Dead boss fight is a 3-wave. Basically you kill all the brutes.
I do like waves
kill
though.
All the zombies.
I don't.
You shield blast the little machine in the middle.
I am not a fan of boss fights that are just bullet sponges. That's why the Firebase Z was such a disappointment.
Times and then kill Richtofen. It's so straightforward. Again, it's one of those that are just very hard to mess up.
But I think Cold War was such a great way to reintroduce people who hadn't played in a while, introduce new fans. They kind of made it a little more simple, but their systems were super flushed out and very thorough. Like you could develop so many different things inside of the menus and inside of the game. Perk system was fun. They really like pushed the mode to the next level, but Easter eggs were easy, boss fights were easy, and map stylization was not as epic in my opinion. I like the more cinematic maps like Blood of the Dead, 9, etc., etc. I think that COD 2023, aka COD 2024, Treyarch's next title, is going to be the big papa Cold War Black Ops 4 mashup game that we've always wanted. A little bit harder Easter eggs, more fun boss fights with actual mechanics in them, not just like bullet bullet sponges. And I really think that Treyarch's next title is going to fix all of the issues that the hardcore fan base had with Cold War. Cold War is a gateway drug for zombies. It's a gateway drug.
The Forsaken boss fight is simple in practice.
This is a good place to
a little bit chaotic.
This is a good place to put that.
Maxis is basically going to fly around, and you have to use her as a soul box 4 times.
Well, I would put this in the same spot. I think this boss fight was a little too easy for my liking, but I understand it's not that big of a deal. It's still pretty fun, and I think number 10 is a pretty good spot.
Is Alpha Omega into the boss fights that you do need to make sure that
Alpha Omega is a hard boss fight. I'm surprised it's this low.
Coincidentally, it's another fight where you have to fill up 4 soul boxes. This time though, you're
everything is soul boxes. Chrrism, that's just how this game is.
Basically, you fill up the 4 soul boxes while the
I never thought to pull out my shield right there. Never thought about that.
With one of those shots, it does 150 damage.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage.
Not take damage from it.
This is a hard boss fight.
Boss fight.
I can't talk.
Or how can I use my shield to block some of these shots?
Basically, that big fire blast that the Avogadro does, it really can fuck you up. And if you're getting hit by one of the mannequins, you're toast. This fight is literally only hard because of the play space that you're in. That's it. That's the only reason it's hard.
Make sure you survive this. Once you're done with the 4 soul boxes, though, you head back to the APD, and basically you have to like shoot the Avogadro.
Yeah, this part's annoying.
This can be a little tedious as he's bouncing off the different walls while you're trying to get him in there. Mode big brain strategy for this is to actually have a katana on, because if you have a katana on, you can just swing on him and get him in the APD fairly easily.
Did not know that.
Is Dead of the Night.
Dead of the Night's way easier than Alpha Omega. Way easier.
Giant werewolf.
Disagree. Disavow. Disavow. Cancel.
3 different statues that omit a green light, and basically you have to line up the green light from 3 different statues to where it's all pointing.
Bro, this one's so much easier.
The werewolf in.
It just is long.
Again, like I said,
bro, I forgot about that camo. That was one of the first camos.
If you have a Spitfire fully upgraded,
this boss fight's great, but
you can actually pretty much take him out.
It's definitely not as hard as
like a Helion salvo as well. That
as
really good.
The last one, Alpha Omega.
Into while doing this boss fight is all the different like elementals and different zombie types.
Well, yeah,
like,
that's the problem with chaos, isn't it?
Regular vampires. You got the 5.
Okay. All right, everybody, let's guess. We're at number 8, I think. So we got 7 more after this, right? I think something like that. It's going to be Voyage of Despair or Gorod Krobi. Those are the 2 I think will be number 1. We'll switch between that, but I'm going to say Voyage. So what do you guys think?
Is Mauer?
Oh, I forgot about Cold War.
Fitting in the theme with all of these boss fights from here on out.
All of these boss fights are actually kind of like on the same tier in my opinion.
Take out Valentina, you're going to need one of 2 things. Either you're going to need a Cerberus, hopefully with at least like 2 Pack-a-Punches on it, or you're going to need something like a Death Machine or a Flamethrower, something along those lines.
Bro, he is getting creamed right now. Yourself.
Again, maybe you count Shadows of Evil. Personally, I don't, but for me, it's the first ever actual boss fight.
I can agree with that.
Run up into the middle, place your Ragnaroks down, and then shoot the giant keeper. Problem is, there's a bunch of different panzers that spawn in and make life miserable. Of course, these are the Eisendrache panzers that throw out their little shock charges every 2 seconds.
This is a beautifully executed boss fight, the Eisendrache boss fight, but it's not harder than Alpha Omega. It's not harder than Mauer. It's not harder than Dead of the Night. This thing should be all the way back at like number 10 or 9. And we're at number 6 here.
I have
number 6
out of sheer PTSD from all the
bro, that's the true boss fight. Sneaking a P
is definitely the
inside of
part about playing
Vanguard. Yeah.
Easter egg. Next up is Gorod Krobi.
Holy shit!
This is the first 2-part boss fight that's on the list. First fight is against a giant dragon, and the second fight versus Nikolai. What makes the dragon part of this a lot more difficult is the entire boss fight arena is covered in fire, meaning you're going to spend a lot of your time with your shield out in front of you. And 2 main things you need to look out for the Nikolai boss fight. One are the wraps that are constantly on.
Those fucking wraps.
You can actually get stepped on and take a completely unwarranted down. I think I said in the Easter egg video that Gorod Krobi
he's absolutely
was the
right.
Easter egg up until this point in the series. series. And
It's not.
with no doubt also the hardest boss fight up until this point in the series.
It's not. It's just
Now, I know what
bullshit.
you're thinking.
This
It's
is
not an
actually
actual
really
boss.
hard.
Cross lava paths that prevent you from regenerating your
Oops.
health.
The Tagter Toten ending cinematic experience, whatever you want to call it, is frickin' difficult, man. Frickin' difficult.
To fill soul boxes up in very tight spaces.
Yeah,
And
this is
overall,
very
beating
hard.
Tagter Toten is not easy. For me, it's 100% the only thing that's even slightly difficult during the entire Easter egg, though. But that doesn't change the fact that
I don't know, this
more
Easter
down
egg
than I care
sucks.
to admit
I hate
on this
it.
Part. The big brain strategy here is to not actually kill the zombies when you're walking from one soul box to the next.
Wait, what? I don't remember any of this. I need to do this again because I've only done it once.
But number 3 has got to be
No,
Ancient
this
Evil.
one's
This is
so
the second
easy.
of two
It's so
two-part boss
easy.
fights that
I'm
are-
telling you guys,
First, you gotta fight
the Black Ops 4 boss fights are
down, and
so
then while he's
easy.
down, you basically do a bunch of melee damage with your specialist. The whole time, the zombie warlord or whatever his name is like throwing little fire things at you, which help you charge your specialist, but they also do damage.
All
Like a
of the
million things that you
BO4
can
Easter eggs are
micromanage
so
by
much
trying
more
to do
simple
it.
than
There's three
people
different-
like going from Black Ops Cold War to all of these newer, well, not newer CODs, the older CODs. Like I'm experiencing Black Ops 4, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1. I'm experiencing all of them through the mindset of Cold War. Like when you saturate yourself inside of a game or a franchise for a whole year, and then you pop back to the older titles, it's weird when you like play them all mixed together. Because usually the new COD comes out and I like it so much, or I like it enough to play it over everything else. Ergo, I'm not doing that because Vanguard is trash, and I'm basically trying to make content for all these different games. So I'm playing BO4 regularly, BO3 regularly, Black Ops Cold War, Vanguard. I'm playing all these games so often that I'm starting to realize where everything overlaps. It's like listening to one of your favorite bands on shuffle and listening to all of their albums at the same time. So for me, that would be Blink-182. I love Blink-182. Imagine listening to like Enema of the State, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, Dude Ranch, and the self-titled or whatever that is for you. And then you start to hear the similarities between all of your favorite songs because they're playing back to back to back instead of getting the whole album experience. That's what's happening to me with zombies right now. Going back and playing Black Ops 4, thinking that this shit was so hard in 2018. So hard. It's just not. It's honestly just barely harder than Cold War. Cold War is just easy enough. I feel more at risk in these fights. I feel like there's something to lose in these fights. But in Cold War, you have so many resources and the game has been stripped down to its like essence, its like basic functions that I can see why they made the choices that they did. I just hope that they kind of ramp it up.
Once you finally take out Pegasus, then comes the actual fight version.
Oh, I love that
War,
camo.
which is pretty similar as far as the mechanics go.
Everyone
Basically,
just
get 'em down and then do a
cheeses
bunch
the
of melee
Telian salvo. It's
specialists.
so
I feel like there's
annoying.
more things to micromanage during this boss fight than there is like any other boss fight. You got to manage your ammo in both your regular guns.
Gotta manage your ammo everywhere.
Who is Voyage of Despair?
Oh,
I
shit.
debated for a while of whether I wanted
Wait,
to
so
put
what's
Voyage-
number one? What's left? Oh, Cold War. Forsaken. Oh, it's Legion.
Or Ancient Evil higher. I ended up putting
It's
Voyage
Legion.
slightly higher on the list. This is a 5-part boss fight that I think all in all takes like 20 minutes, even if you're like relatively quick. The first 2 waves basically introduce you to this giant eye. All you gotta do is survive for the first 2 of the 5 waves. Unfortunately though, things get difficult. There's a ton of different elemental zombies.
This is a very hard boss fight because of the areas.
They
Again, a
really
lot of
just
these
throw
boss fights are
everything at
difficult
you during this.
simply because of
Fortunately,
the
though, they
areas
do
that they
have
are in.
ammo and a carpenter, but if your shield breaks at any one of the stages on this boss fight, you're just absolutely screwed and there's no way to get another one back. Then for the 3rd and 4th wave,
This
the
one's
eye
very
is
hard.
shooting
This
at you,
space is
and
super
while
hard.
The eye is shooting at you, you can do damage to it. And once you do enough damage to it 3 times, then you progress through each of those waves. And then comes
Bro,
the 5th,
I love this
final
boss
wave,
fight. It's
where
so good.
Finally, you can actually take out the eye.
So
I
good.
think you got to do the same thing you did on the 3rd and 4th waves by doing damage to him 3 times. This time he'll do a wipe attack, and you have to, while he's doing the wipe attack, you have to do enough damage to him so he won't just one-shot kill you.
Yeah, but
when you do that,
if you have Victorious Tortoise,
so I know
you're
none of that
totally
makes sense.
fine.
If you've never done it, I definitely didn't explain it good enough for you to be able to do it. But that's kind of the point. Is it's a lot. There's a ton of time you have to spend.
It's such a
at
good
this
fight.
You have to
Oh
do
my
so
God,
much
I love
damage
it.
to this eye over
I
the
love it
course
so
of
much.
All 5 of the waves. Things like the Helion Salvo, the Kraken, and Homunculus are going to be your 3 best friends if you want to try to do this.
They sure are.
I couldn't imagine trying to do this boss fight without any of those 3.
I did it with the Hades. It's totally possible. It's totally possible.
Me is the Legion boss fight at the end of the Alpha
Bro,
Easter egg.
it's
rough. I've probably died more times during the Legion boss fight.
It's so easy now. It's so easy. They've cheesed everything, guys. I promise.
There's gonna be Manglers. There's gonna be Krasnies. There's gonna be Hellhounds. There's gonna be armored zombies. There's gonna be.
It's a good boss fight though.
In just about whatever on top.
Frenzied Guard is what you want though.
Even in a game like Cold War that gives you a ton of stuff to help you out, for me, the Legion boss fight easily is the hardest Treyarch zombies of all time. Obviously, if I was including non-Treyarch zombies.
All right, so there's a new variant for one of the AK-47s inside of Cold War. It's one of the newer ones. It's called like the Void Master or something like that. It has like all these scientific like bulbs popping off of it and shit. That thing is freaking a beast. You can shoot him from anywhere and you'll destroy his crystals. If you just have Frenzied Guard on, just pop Frenzied Guard. As soon as you destroy the regular armor, shoot the freaking blue aether ball or whatever the hell it is, this energy ball. You'll defeat the boss fight within 3 minutes. It's so easy now. And they remove super sprinters from the silo. And it's just so annoying because everybody was like, Cold War needs to be harder. Then they made it harder and then everybody just complained. I don't get this community sometimes. I just don't understand us. I agree mostly with this list, but the Eisendrache one and the Gorod Krovi one, Ancient Evil, there was a couple at the top that I really didn't quite agree with. I feel like if you go back now and play it with everything you know, now that the games are in their final state, including Cold War, going back and playing all of them and experiencing them for what they are, I really think you would come up with a different tier list. I would, and I think I might make one just to clap back at this guy because I'm angry. I'm actually not angry. I love this video. So yeah, that's going to do it for this reaction. We're going to head back into the stream content. But for those of you on YouTube who are watching this clip, thank you so much for watching and make sure to like and subscribe for more content just like this. And we will see you guys all in the next video.